Barak, Yahweh, Alam, Shalom, righteous family. Welcome back to TRU-TALK. Why everybody so mad at Deion Sanders? Well, not everybody. Seems like half of the world love him and half of the world hate him. And it seems to be one of those black and white things. People that love him are mostly black. There are some white people that love him or may pretend like they love him. And then most of the people that hate him are white. But then you got some black people that seem like they hate him. You know, shout outs to Warlock, Whitelock. And I'm gonna talk about him for a minute. But what have Deion Sanders done? They say he's cocky, he's arrogant. You know, they said things like, that's not how we do things around here. And you know what I find so funny? All the coaches get to that he play against before pregame, they interview, they always say something disrespectful. So they can be disrespectful towards him. As far as my understanding, Deion hadn't said nothing disrespectful to them or about them. His concern is about the game. But they try to attack him personally. And nobody calls them out. Nobody say that's wrong. The black dude Woodlock that say he need to be humble. He don't say nothing about these white coaches being disrespectful to Deion. One of the white coach said what his mama told him when he talked to a man, take his hat and glasses off. Deion, he did good. He played it cool. But I probably would have had to pull him to the shot side and jack him up. Because now you coming at my character. You trying to say my mama ain't raised me right? You know what I'm saying? But he made that statement about Deion, trying to say that he don't know how to be a man. He don't know how to be respectful. His mama didn't raise him right. And that's, that's basically what he was saying. And then the Oregon coach made a statement. He said, we fighting for wins. They fighting for clicks. He trying to say that they just want to, get lights and they just want to win so the camera can be on. And I'm confused because ain't that's why everybody want to win? I mean, you want to win because it feel good to win. But what all that go along with the winning, getting noticed and having your name talked about is a part of why you want to win. But he lost. Deion Sanders lost his first game. And I had a feeling he was going to lose this game. One of their best players was out. They had 3 tough games played, but they really, this squad is just getting together, all the excitement. And, I just knew this was the team that was going to beat them. Now, of course, it's not the end of the world. But as I read the comments on one post, a lot of people are happy he lost. They're glad he lost. And just reading the comments, they were saying stuff like, oh, humble pie. This ain't Hollywood. It's football, Somebody said something like, this ain't Hollywood, this is grass and field or something like that. And mostly, if I can just be honest with y'all, and I'm just gonna be honest, mostly white people are happy and they throwing this up in his face that he's lost. Now, many teams lost in this. Trash talking is a part of the game. And usually when your team lose, to get another team bragging right to talk trash. But this is on a whole nother level. I never seen a team lose and everybody coming at the coach. They're not really talking about the players or, the normal, we won, y'all lost. Like it's real personal. They saying some things that's really disrespectful and is aiming at prime. Now, is prime cocky? Some people say he is. I think he's a little cocky. Is that a sin? Is that bad? No. Should he be humble? I hadn't seen a coach more humble than Prime. When they first won, he gave thanks to the creator of Most High, to his son, to Christ. And he always mentioned Christ and give Christ praise. And that's the thing that black dude Woodlock, that I don't know, he's like to attack black men that don't play the suit for white people. I'm gonna get into that, but well, that's the case. But he's supposed to be so God friend, and he's supposed to be a man about God. And he talk about the Bible say be humble, but he never talk about how none of the white coaches never praised the Most High or use their platform to glorify the Most High, like Prime do. But he got a problem with Prime, and most people got a problem with Prime, and I don't know why people act like they don't know their enemies. Scripture says, don't be ignorant of the device of devil. I'm not calling nobody devils. There are, but people can be devils and Satan. But I'm not calling nobody that. I'm just saying we cannot be ignorant of what a certain people in this country do. We've been here long enough to know. So what's the problem here? Come on, we know the problem. He's too what they consider black. Look at him. He got his shades on. He got his chains. He got his head turned backwards. And this him when he was at Jackson State. Now I had to throw this picture up and represent the JS. But he's for his people. He's not ashamed of being for his people. He don't let people, because a lot of people, they don't like being for their people in front of white people. They'll be for their people behind closed doors. See, white people can be for their people in front of everybody, but black people, a lot of times they get intimidated because they don't want to lose position or be looked at any type of way because they know how them people play. So they don't want to get on their bad side or make them feel like they're not a part of the program. So they're not too bold about being for their people. Prime is not like that. He's unapologetic about being for his people. One of the reasons he went to Jackson State to help his people. Not only that, but he's confident. You remember Ali. A lot of people had a problem with Ali. When he died, they make like, oh, the world act like they love him. But, Ali, they took his belt and all that because he was a confident black man. And many people would say that he was cocky, that he was arrogant because they not used to that swag. And that's the thing, Prime got swag. He got what most of our people have with them, swag. And when you come from where most of us like Prime come from, this is normal. This is how we talk. This is how we act. It just we can't usually talk and act like this in front of them because to them, they call it cocky. They call it arrogant. They call it ghetto. And that's the problem. He's too, if I may say, Hebrew. He's too much. In Hebrew, you can just change that with black. If I say black, I'm talking about Hebrew. I'm talking about Hebrew. I'm talking about black. Because we are the Hebrew Israelites. Wake up. This should be understood by now. But nevertheless, they want us to conform. See, all the good little uh good little boys like Woodlock that put on the suit, don't put on the earrings, don't put on no chain, and behave as the white system told him that he should behave. And then he get mad at other black people when they don't behave like the white system taught him to behave and what they think he should behave. And he think he doing us a favor because he feel like, oh, you bringing shame to us. No, Dion, don't act like that. Don't act like what's in you. Don't do that because they taught us for so long being this way is wrong. Like y'all may notice, I may not pronounce words right. I speak, I'm ghetto and I'm country. I speak with a broken English. And I'm Geechee. I'm from Southeast Georgia. So I'm Geechee, so I don't pronounce things right sometimes. But anybody from a foreign country can come over here and they don't get picked at for the way they talk. And they can be raised up in America but have some type of accent and not get picked at. But see, I'm not from here. My ancestors did not originally speak English. So why should I speak it what they call proper English? And see, it's a double sword because a lot of the words we use, they'll call it slang or ghetto because that's just how unique and blessed we are. We are the most high chosen. So we'll use certain words like cool, chilling, what's up. All those three words are now worldwide. They started in the hood. And I remember when white people unite used to say that. It used to be awkward for a white person to say chilling or what's up. Now it's so common. See, when we used to say it was ghetto and slang. Now they take it and it's like they everyday speech now. Like this is how they talk. It's not acceptable only when they accept it. Then it considered be acceptable. But when we were saying that, they was, you know, acting like they didn't understand it. I remember the teacher, he was like, why y'all say chilling? He was like, are you cold? You need a blanket? It's winter. Why you say chilling? I was like, nah, that's just the word that we say, you know what I mean? I'm just relaxing. But he was, just trying to make a joke, be like, you chilly, And I'd be like, we'll say, what's up? And he'll be like, the ceiling, why you saying what's up? Why don't you just say hi? because that was considered to them ghetto and slang and not proper speech. But now they accept that it's okay. Like a lot of stuff, like, I can go into that about the culture and appropriation and all that. But that's another video for another day. We all know they like to imitate us and steal from us. And vice versa. I'm not gonna put our people off. A lot of our people like to do so, our women's with the hair. And I hate that about our women. But that's deeper than that society. That's going back to our people have to conform to this world. Because a lot of our women here are considered unprofessional. They beautiful, woolly hair. I mean, man, we got some beautiful hair. What they call nappy knotty. That curls up so much that it develop a knot. Real curly, woolly hair. Kinky hair. They'll say it's unprofessional. Right now, we got a school down there in Texas. We want to suspend the boy for having dreadlocks, saying that students cannot have hair below their ear or past their ear, saying they not discriminating, knowing that this is a part of our culture. See, they culture, a lot of they boys, they used to wearing short hair. That's how their culture is. They culture, they wear short hair. In our culture, our men's don't wear short hair. Our men's wear braids, plaits, and dreads. So they knew what they was doing. They did something that would fit their culture. Because most of white boys don't grow their hair out. So to stop our children from growing their hair out, they did some type of foolish law. And what they're doing is discriminating against our culture. But that's who we are. We wear locks. We wear afros. Even our afros, even if it don't look like our afros long, when you pull it, it stretches out and it's longer than what it is. So if that's the case, if they saying my hair can't be as long as my ears, then a lot of people that got afros, even though it don't look that long, they still breaking according to their case. But see, they don't know about our culture. And why they hate that so much, why they don't want Black people to wear dreads. In the scripture, dreads was considered holy. The people that had dreads was very powerful. And I say dreads, but really it's locks. They put the dread on it because it was dreadful to them to see a Black man with dreads, because they knew that Black man had power. They knew he had strength. Remember Samson in the Bible? His hair was his strength. Don't let that go over your head. It's a reason why they don't like to see Negroes with long hair. And they like for us to just keep a shaved bald head and a shaved face. Scripture talk about us having beards. But nevertheless, they don't want our culture. We talk about civil rights and not being separate and integration, but we don't understand what integration meant was conform. If you're going to integrate with us, you can't do your culture. You're going to have to become more like us. The saying, this is a white man's world, a Black man in a white man's world. You be more accepted when you conform to their way of talking, their way of dressing. Look at all the successful Black men that's on TV. Got suits. Most of them are clean shaved. Don't have no beard, no afro. The comedian for Africa, what's his name? I can't think of it. On the Tonight Show or whatever. But anyway, he was growing a beard, and I knew they was gonna make him cut it. Because when you was We still are somewhat slaves in this system, even though we got freedom. Certain things they won't allow for us to do. But because his afro is cool, they let him keep his afro because they like his afro. So he can grow his afro, but trust me, if he want to braid it or plait it or dread it, they're going to tell him no. Most black men on TV, they don't allow for them to have hair or a beard. They want you to keep it clean. They want you to be in a suit, and they want you to act a certain way because they want you to conform. Because when we act the way that we act, we're going to outshine them. We're going to draw attention. And we as people, we love it. It's part of who we are. We like swag. But them, they don't. They call it showing out. They call it cocking. They call it arrogant. When you can be as humble as you can be, but because you don't act like the other white coaches. See, the other white coaches don't wear chains, don't wear their hair backwards, don't put on shades, don't walk with that swag, don't talk how you talk. You talk with confidence. But they also see that he's special. And all these great coaches, because see, one thing about America, they like the white hero. They like for you look at every movie, Black Panther, remember the white man, uh, Hitchman, Hotchkiss, where Will Smith was the drunk Superman, the white people. It's always some type of white savior. So in this NBA and NFL, they like to say these white coaches did a heck of a job with these boys, with these men. They coach them well. If it wasn't for the coach. Well, let's be honest. I cannot relate. Most of us cannot. As a black man, I probably can't. A white man probably can't relate to me. Like he can relate to a white man. That's just facts. But we can relate with our own people. And Dion, they see the connection he got with his boys. They see that these players, these human beings, these athletes, these sons, soon to be father and husbands, these brothers, that when coach really care about them, and coach, even though he want them to go out there and win, that he gonna put their best interest in that he gonna teach them the game. And that's intimidating. Him being who he is, a Hebrew black man, does not so-called conform by just shutting up and playing a good little boy. And just be grateful we gave you the job. It don't cause too much noise. But see, at the same time, because he that way, the cameras can't stop shooting at him. They can't stop talking about him. Because like I said, they don't want us to be this way for a reason. It's like when you step in the room, we the main attraction. Only if we keep the essence of who we are, like Sandy, like Coach Prime. See, most black people, by the time they get that far and they're successful, they done been conformed so much, trying to please the white man, trying to conform to this society, trying not to be who they are. And see, they got it so wrong, they got our minds so twisted. A lot of people, when they hear that, because they like to associate with who we are with negativism. They're like, what you talking about, killers? You talking about being gangbang? Talking about being drugs addict? Because that's who they want the world to think who we are in essence. Foolish people that drink, just over sexualized. The stereotypes. And this stereotype, they said there's some truth in the stereotype. But what the enemy do, they take a stereotype and a lot of times they like to twist it and make it bad, even if it's good. Watermelon is some of the best fruits a person can eat. It's the most healthiest fruit you can eat, but they make like it's a bad thing. And not only that, because of our melon, taste bugs, that we taste things different, that we actually, how can I say, we actually taste the flavor more. And this is science, you can look it up. This is why the melon in us, the thing that we made up, that's why we got rhythm and they don't. Like we are considered superhumans to the average white man. The white man can taste what we taste and see what we taste. Our eyesight is better than theirs. We can taste more flavor than them. We can jump higher. We can run faster. Let's not talk about the inventions because, they like to just make like that we athletic, but we not smart or wise. Just look at the black inventions and all the stuff we invented, not naming the stuff that they stole, that they patented, they didn't really create. To tell the truth, they want to talk about racism and right superior. Which race really are more superior? So if we most superior, why did they conquer us? That's why slavery is like a badge. A lot of them won't say it out loud, but it's like a badge to them, a badge of honor that they was able to conquer our people. They couldn't conquer our people if the Most High didn't allow it. It was because I disobedient. Come on, think people. How can how can 10 people make 1,000 people run unless the Most High be on their side? Brave people, they didn't kidnap dumb people. They brought scientists over here, people that knew how to form, knew how to build. It made no sense to bring a people over here that can't speak your language, lazy as they say, violent as they say, and don't know how to do nothing. So how we knew how to build, how we knew how to paint and grow. Y'all we program from the lies. Make it make sense. That's why we was achieving so much, not even 50 years out of so-called slavery, or why in slavery we was achieving so much. Why you think if any other race went through what we went through, they'll be dead. Seeing what happened to the Native American, nearly wiped out. But because the Most High favor, we still here. Not only still here, but all the things they did to wipe us out. Like the government they had a plan, paying parenthood to the day from uh, redlining, from uh, food stamps and welfare, for war on drugs, for uh, what's the other thing? Man, I can't think of the name. But it's so many they did. Like you can go down a list, breaking up the black home, unlawful arrest, locking up people, the lynchings, the killing. Couldn't wipe us out, couldn't stop from today's time for a coach like this still have his culture, have his core, who he is about him, and not be ashamed of it. Because there have been a couple of other black coaches or assistant coaches, but they ain't getting no attention like this or hate like this. Why? Because a lot of them done conform. If they do act like this, they don't act like this in front of the cameras. I remember Woodlock said something about chains and wearing chains and exercise of insecurity. All these little things they try to say to poke at us. Like, no, if you like to wear chains, they don't have a sign of insecurity. The whole thing that they got, and I'm making another video about that, they, trying to say that black men, because they raised like their mama, they got female emotions, and they made a whole little thing out of that. But not trying to get too much off the subject. Prime has not conformed. He is not walking around like his butt is tight with a tie and suit on, talking with proper English, just being thankful to be there. He's being who he is. And that's how all of it, he being black, if I can just say it like that. And see, a lot of times, even me, sometimes I find myself doing that, where I don't be myself around so-called, we always say, we got two voices. We got about two or three voices. We got our white voice and we got our regular voice. This is how I talk to my boss. This is how I talk to my homeboys. When I see my homeboys, I dap them up and say, what's up? When I'm at a white man, I shake his hand and say, how you doing? Why do I have to do that? Because a lot of times, that's how the white man operate. They shake each other's hands. We dap each other up. But a lot of times, we got to conform to them and shake their hand instead of them conforming to us and dapping us up. But, that's being cool now. The dapping each other up. Remember, that was a stigma that was just black people. Now, a lot of white people doing it, the fist bump. Even Biden did it when he seen the Prince. We are the trendsetters. When we truly be us, that's when magic happen. That's when the camera be us. But it's certain position they don't like us being. They don't like us being us and being successful if we not playing their game. Now, if these song, if Prime was a rapper, if Coach Prime was a rapper talking about uh, killing and downgrading our women, they'll have nothing to say. Woodlock will have nothing to say. But because he's a God-fearing man, and he don't have none of the negative things they like to put on us, but he still got that attitude. He still got that swag. He still got that flavor that many brothers are born with. But suppress and how to suppress to get along in this world. And he's confident enough, that's where that confidence come up. He's confident enough to put his head on backwards, put on his shades, wear his jewelry. And as we always do, he do numbers. And now the coach is mad because you got too much swag. You're being too black in a position where we don't really want y'all in. Now you got here and you not being like Woodlock will want you to be, the so-called good little boy. To put on your suit and tie and say proper words. Man, I salute Dion, but of course, they love this loss. They eating it up. They glad he lost. I mean, it's so sad when you hoping and cheering on a man downfall. Like we got wins and losing in football all the time, but they really hoping and cheering for this man to lose. and happy when he lose. Colorado wasn't even talked about a year or 2 years ago. Now they finally, well, all this hate. Do they hate Colorado? No, they hate Coach Prime. Why? Let them tell it. He's cocky. He's arrogant. He's too Hollywood. He's just doing it for clicks. But he's not the one putting the camera on him. He's not the one writing stories. They're the one writing stories about how much he gonna fail. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. While they was writing how much he was gonna fail, he succeeded, and that blew up in their face. So now they had to talk about it more. And of course, Black people, because we know he got a lot of hate, we support him, and we want him to win. But when it comes down to the nutshell, because because Coach Prime got swag, because he's too black, because he hadn't conformed, and he's not how they want him to be, which is not black, not with a swag. But this is how he always been. Oh, you can be that as a football player. You can be that as a rapper, but not as a coach. You know, one white man, he told the truth. He said, if we allow for them to, because there's a lie that black people ain't smart enough. That's why they don't hold the position that white people hold. Jewish people are so smart. That's why they in the position bull crap. The truth is they fear because just like Tiger Woods, there was no black people able to play basketball once upon a time. Look at the league. There was no black people allowed to play football one point at a time. Look at the league. Being a quarterback was just considered a white boy job because a high IQ. Right now, the NFL got what? 50% of they quarterbacks are Negroes now. But the white man made a statement. He said, if we give them a chance, and I predict we're not gonna be able to compete with them. They're gonna take over. That's the story of the Black Hollywood. I mean, Black Wall Street. How our people built it community, and it was doing so well, and they was just hating. They were just waiting for a reason. It didn't have to be the white girl lying on the black man as they do so often and continue to do. It could have been a pin dropped the wrong way. They was waiting. Not all white people, most white people, they can't stand to see us successful because it tear down their stereotype. It brings to smoke this dream that they are superior. One point in time, black people couldn't play baseball. Look at some of the best players in the league right now. But this is the issue. Plain and clear. Most people can see it, but they won't say it. You know, people say, you always put a race car, you always put a race car. You know, I don't know anything about a race car. I know about reality. I know how this world works. I know how this country works. I know what they allow and what they won't allow. If Prime turn his head forward, take those glasses off, take that chains off, put on a suit, and don't say much. If he don't rhyme like he rhyme, he don't talk about God like he talk about and Boosie and be confident like that, a lot of white people be happy. They'll be cheering for him. They'll want him to succeed. They'll say he's a good one. He one of those good ones. Now that's an honest black man. That's why so many black men conform, because they want that validation. Because in this white man world, a white man's validation means more to a lot of them than their own people. But Prime different. He's not gonna let his people tear him down because he know our people got trauma. But he know that what his people think of him with more value than what their people think of him. And this is why everybody mad at Prime. This is why half of the people love him and half of the people hate him. Before I leave, a message to my young black men growing up. You're not a stereotype. Don't make them feel bad because you talk different, because you walk different. The truth is, we're not white, we're not Asian, we're not Caucasian. We're not even so-called African Americans. We Hebrews, the Most High chosen. We special. We talk different, we walk different. Yes, we must stay humble and be thankful. But don't let them take away your salt. As the scripture says, as the Messiah said, if the salt loses flavor, then what is good for? But to be trampled over. And a lot of Hebrews or Negroes or black men that done uh, transformed and became what the so-called white man want them to be, they get stumped on. They get no respect. They think that suit give them some type of respect, but they don't. And they're not happy. They're uncomfortable because they can't really be themselves. So much to the point that they can't even feel comfortable around their own people. They feel like their own people is bad or act bad. No, we are different. Remember they told you there's nothing wrong with being different? And not only we are different, they are different. It ain't like they normal and we different, or they normal, we are not. No, everybody is different. They different, we different. We don't talk like them. We don't walk like them. We don't dress like them. We ain't supposed to. And never conform to this society and lose who you are and call yourself a free man when really you slave. You can't be yourself. Freedom is when you can be your complete self. When you can't be yourself, that's not freedom. No matter how much money you got, how much praise they give you for being a so-called good little boy, for talking proper, for not being like one of them. No, he's different. He's not like one of them. And one thing they hate because Coach Prime showing that you can keep your swag and still be successful. You ain't gotta conform to their way of thinking and acting and dressing. You can be just intelligent as you want to be. Have dreads, a mouth full of gold, with 22s on the dunk, uh, 212s in the back of the trunk, and pull up at the hospital. Put your dreads in a ponytail, take your gold out your mouth, and put your white coat on, your white doctor's coat. Lock up your nice ride, old school on 24s, lock it up, and go in there and do a job. Because they'll tell you a doctor ain't supposed to look like that. They don't want you to just. I remember Steve Harvey said something, and now I take Steve Harvey, but he said doctors don't have dreads. So I told my, and it was an old stand up. He said, so my son's not gonna have locks because doctors don't have locks. And I just shook my head because I'm like, your son's probably gonna be the first doctors with locks. Tell them they don't have to lose their swag and flavor to be successful. Yes, we know there's a way you gotta act in this society. He can be professional. You can see a black man with his dreads pulled back, professional. But when he leave and take off that white coat, put his change on, his grill, and jump in his old school seat, they make us think only drug dealers can do that. So that's what turned a lot of our people off from being doctors and lawyers. Because they like, if I gotta be a doctor and lawyer, then I like to wear chains. I like old schools on 24s. I like bass in my trunk. I like to dress like this. And when you tell young men they can't be who they are, if you want to be this, you can't be that, then that's unappealing. So they say, well, where can I be myself at and still succeed? And they say, well, you can be a football player, basketball player, you can be a rapper. So all the Hebrew boys trying to be that because they can be themselves and still have success and be that to a certain point. Of course, they gonna try to govern you. You know how it was when Iver Iverson first came out with the braids and tattoos. That's not too long ago, people. Just think about this society. Iver Iverson with the braids and the tattoo was intimidating. He caught a lot of hate, but he inspired a lot of black people, a lot of Hebrew boys, and changed the culture for the day. But yeah, it's time we see that you don't just have to be a dope boy to be able to ride on 22s and to have gold chains and to be flashing. You can be a doctor and still have that swag. You can be a lawyer and still have that swag. That's what they don't want you to know. You can be a coach, prime. You can coach a college football team and still have that swag. They say seeing is believing. When you see it, then you can believe it. Then you'll be able to achieve it. They don't want too many people to see that you can still be your swag and be successful. That's why they want him to fail. That's why they saying he's too cocky. I don't want to sound like I'm going around in a circle and being, repetitive and repeat myself. But once again, young man, change your attitude, change who you are, give your life to the Most High. Go back to our culture of being law keepers and righteous men. But keep that soft. Keep that swag. You turn heads. That's who you are. That's who I am. Till next time. Shalom.